Hi everyone, it's homework time. So today we're going to look at words and expressions from Breaking Bad Season 1, Episode 1. You guys are going to learn them, become familiar with them today or during the week. And on Thursday, we're going to meet for our conversation class, and I'm going to recycle these words and expressions into discussion questions, and we're going to use them during our discussion. So if you're already signed up, that is awesome. I will see you guys this Thursday. If you haven't signed up yet, please email me at lindsay@networkinenglish.com and you can join us. All right, so let's get down to our vocabulary words. The first expression we have is to shut someone out. So you could use shut someone out formally or informally. In an informal situation, shutting someone out means not communicating with them about your feelings. So maybe in a relationship with a boyfriend or girlfriend, or with a family member or a good friend, you're talking to them, but you're not telling them what you're really feeling, what's really going on. So they might become upset and tell you, stop shutting me out, or why are you shutting me out? In a formal situation, it's usually used in the expression to shut out the competition. So this means that your competition did not have a chance of succeeding against you. So maybe when Apple first released the iPhone, they shut out the competition. You know, everybody wanted an iPhone. Nobody else had a chance to compete. All right, our next expression is to take a shot at something. So taking a shot at something just means making an attempt or trying something for the first time. So maybe if you've never studied Japanese before and you decide that you want to try learning Japanese, you could say, I'm going to take a shot at it. I'm going to take a shot at learning Japanese. In a more formal situation, you know, if you're talking about work, maybe a position opens up at a higher level and you decide that you're going to try to interview for this position. You could tell a coworker, I'm going to take a shot at it. I'm going to take a shot at that position, right? So I'm going to try. I'm going to make an attempt. All right, our next expression is the boonies. So the boonies is definitely an informal expression, and it's used to talk about a place that is far away from civilization. So out in the middle of the forest would be the boonies. But we also use it to describe a small town that is kind of isolated and far away from other small towns. So I come from the boonies. I grew up in a very small town on the west coast of Canada. So when I say something like, I grew up in the boonies, it could be a little bit negative. It's possible to use it negatively, like there was nothing going on there. It was far away from everything. But it doesn't have to be negative. It's also used just as an exaggeration. So kind of like I'm telling you, I grew up in the forest or in the wilderness. So it just makes it feel like a bit of a hyperbole or a bit of an exaggeration to say, I grew up in the boonies. They're going camping in the boonies on the weekend. It's going to take us forever to get there because it's out in the boonies. All right, our next expression, informal because, well, it's used in informal situations, would be to call someone a basket case. So if you are a basket case, it means that you're so anxious or stressed out or overwhelmed that you're unable to function normally. And this is usually for a short period of time. So something is happening in your life that you're not able to cope with, and it's making you behave very anxiously and in a way that is not normal for you. So, you know, if someone is afraid of flying, the morning of the flight, they could be a basket case, you know, so they might forget where they put their keys. They might not be able to communicate in a normal way, sweating, basically all signs of being very stressed or anxious or nervous. All right, our next expression is to turn someone in. So this is a phrasal verb that we would use informal situations because it involves a formal action, which is notifying the police or the authorities that you have found the criminal or the guilty person. And usually it's someone you know, so someone you have some kind of a personal connection with, whether it's a family member who has broken the law or someone that lives across the street that you know who's committed a crime. If you discover that your neighbor is growing marijuana in their backyard and you phone the police and tell them about this, then you're turning your neighbor in or turning in your neighbor. You could also turn yourself in. So if you've committed a crime and you feel guilty about it and you go to the police station and you tell the police, I hit someone with my car last night, you would be turning yourself in. I'm here to turn myself in. Yeah, I've done something terrible. All right, our next expression is to be back to square one. So this could be used in a formal or an informal situation. So being back at square one or going back to square one or being back to square one means that you've been working on some kind of a project or a plan and there was a complete failure, a complete breakdown. You come to a point where you see that your project or your plan is not possible. It is not viable. And you're going to have to stop and start a completely new project, start back at the very beginning. So when you arrive at the point where you realize it is not working and there's no way you can save any of the work you've put into it, you would say, we're back to square one. We have to start again from the beginning. We're back to square one. You could also use this informally. So in your personal life, let's say you decide you want to lose some weight. So you go on a diet. Maybe you're succeeding with your plan and you've lost a few kilos. And then a holiday comes and all of your favorite food is around and you're eating cookies every day and you gain the weight back. At the point that you step on the scale and realize that you're back to the same weight that you were in the beginning, you would say, I'm back to square one, right? I have to start my diet all over again from the beginning. Our next expression, your heart is in the right place. So this is when a person has good intentions towards someone, but the end result is the opposite. So the end result of what they're doing is not good. So for example, my mother told my sister's roommate, who was a smoker, that smoking is bad for her and that she should stop smoking. So my mother's heart was in the right place because she wanted to save that girl from smoking cigarettes. But the result was that the girl just felt annoyed with my mom for telling her not to smoke. Similarly, if my son tried to make me a birthday cake, and it was a terrible birthday cake that was inedible, I would say, well, this cake is disgusting, but his heart was in the right place. Yeah, like he meant well. He had good intentions. All right, so our next expression, to hold something against someone. So if you're holding something against someone, it means that because of a person's circumstances or past actions, you have a negative opinion of them. So, for example, if I'm getting married next year and I want my sister to come to my wedding, and she says she doesn't know if she will be able to attend the wedding, I might say, if you don't come to my wedding, I will hold it against you forever. Okay, so I will feel bad about that and think negatively about her because of that one incident. So I will hold it against you. Also, a person's past or personal associations. So maybe your brother is a psychopath, okay, but you are my friend. So your brother is a psycho, but I won't hold it against you, okay? I still like you. I don't see you in a negative way just because your brother is a psycho, okay? I won't hold it against you, or I don't hold it against you. And sometimes we use this expression in a sarcastic way. So in the Breaking Bad episode, they actually do use it in a sarcastic way. So, if I said something like, "Wow, you're absolutely beautiful and you're really intelligent, but I won't hold it against you." So I'm kind of using it sarcastically there, making a joke with the expression. All right, our next one is to give a toast to someone. So you could say, give a toast, make a toast, or propose a toast. This is usually formal just because of the nature of what a toast is. So it's just to say something positive, give a short speech about something positive about a person or how you appreciate them. And it involves raising a glass of alcohol, so a glass of wine or a glass of champagne. And then when your short speech is finished, everyone takes a drink from their glass. So that is everything involved in giving a toast to someone. So for example, at a wedding, someone gives a toast to the bride and someone gives a toast to the groom. There are many toasts during a wedding, but it could happen in a more informal circumstance. So, maybe if you went to a friend's house for breakfast and your friend prepared an amazing meal, you might say, "I'd like to give a toast to the chef," like, "Thank you for cooking all of this. I appreciate it." All right, our final expression, to be a smart ass. So calling someone a smart ass is definitely informal. It's slang and it could be offensive depending on your relationship with the person that you're calling a smart ass. So what does it mean to be a smart ass? If you're being a smart ass, you say something that you think is funny, but it's also disrespectful, and the person who is hearing it does not find it funny. And you also think that you're really smart when you're saying it, that you're very clever and funny. All right, so an example of being a smartass would be if I say to my students, "Please tell me 4 animals that live in the Arctic." And my student, Amin, says, 3 polar bears and 1 penguin. I would say, stop being a smartass. So if a teacher has a relaxed, informal relationship with their students, then they might call a student a smartass. That might be a little too informal for some teacher styles, so they might not use it because it would be seen as offensive. But if you're a parent who has teenage children, you would definitely call your teenage child a smartass if he's trying to be funny but being disrespectful towards you. All right, that's all of our vocabulary words and expressions. I'm going to be recycling all of these into discussion questions for class this Thursday, and I'm going to post them right after this video. So you can take a look through the conversation questions. If there's anything that's not clear for you or you're not quite sure what it means, please just ask a question in the comment thread below. And if you would like to get some grammar practice and start using these words now, if you would like to create your own discussion questions using some of these words, please post them here below in the comment section. And if you see that someone else has posted a question that has a grammar mistake, then you can try to correct them. And then on Thursday, I will take the best questions and use them in our class. All right, so I'll see you on Thursday. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and you can get updates on when this comes out. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Thursday.